Hello YouTube! In this tutorial we will learn how to create table using MySQLi approach. Now here's the situation. We have actual database created in our server, so we must state that into our PHP script. So let's do that as a for parameter, like DBA or actual database. The target will be address book. Okay? In your case that may be something else, but this is not enough. We need to use this thing somewhere, and that will be here after password. So this is just way of connecting to server when you exactly know what you're going to use. Okay, it's equivalent of going to terminal and using use that database, use people, use products, and so on and so on. So you know this from messing around with terminal, MySQL command prompt basically. So database, so leave this part here alone. This will work. We need to check our connection. We will work a lot with this thing obviously, and down there we will change this database created to SQL command. Okay, why? Because this is a generic way of handling actual execution. So we will not go every time here and change table created, table updated, like I don't know, database deleted, and so on and so on. We'll just say SQL command OK, and then we will fiddle around on this line. So of course, except this line, don't change anything here and the thing will work. So right, let's change this. Oops. Let's change this to command dedicated for creation of table. Create table and open normal brackets, and here inside of brackets press enter a couple of times, and now we will go field by field, basically column by column. We're gonna state with what kind of data types we are working with. So first thing first, we need to have some kind of ID, and that will be integer. And I will not explain data types here a lot, because my assumption is that you do know that from my MySQL, pure MySQL playlist. Okay, 40 tutorials, I think, something like that. So yeah, ID will be integer. It will be not null, which means everything it must be populated basically. Primary key and auto increment. So every new row will be incremented by one, and so on and so on. Comma, don't forget that. So name of that person, but we actually didn't state here, I didn't state here the name of actual table. Let's say people. Sorry about that. So name will be variable character up to, I don't know, 30 or something. So that will be not null. Okay, we must type that. Last name, same thing, varchar up to 30, not null. What else? Telephone, integer, normal stuff, and email, that will be varchar up to 100. That's pretty long email. Or you can use even more, it's totally up to you. Now what else? Actual address. So varchar let's say up to, well, I don't know, 100. Now the smart idea here when you're working with production stuff is to split address into two parts, into street, name of street, and actual apartment or flat number. But for simplicity reasons we are just going to say address here. And after that we'll have a little bit of metadata, like a timestamp, date and time, presented as a bunch of characters that you can later split and get date and time. So timestamp in the moment. And well, let me see. Well, that's pretty much it. ID, name, last name, what else? Telephone. Well, yeah, that's cool. So let's save this script and let's go to index and refresh. connection successful, one part of the story is done, and SQL command is okay. So now we need to say here that we have actual table. Let me see. Right, so people. So when I click here or here, I will get the structure basically. Structure. Okay, so in ID, okay, name, last name, telephone, email. Well, yeah, that's pretty much about it. So this is it about this tutorial. Now you can go out and create any other table. I don't know basically what you are doing, but you can play around. But honestly, for simplicity reasons, I think that you should save yourself a little bit of time and just follow this one table and not to mess around with too many of your own tables, because you will basically waste time and maybe end up confused and so on. So objective here is not to learn about how to work with many tables. We are just doing simple stuff with one table, like insertion, pulling things from it, and so on and so on. So yep, if you run this script once more, then you'll run into error. Now connection will be fine, but here you'll have error. Table people already exist. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And as always, thank you for watching. See you next tutorial.